G'day guys and welcome to the Centre Bounce for another Monday live stream. Sorry, just a tad late. Apologies for keeping you guys waiting. Hope you all had a wonderful Monday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend as well. A happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there, as well as all the potential fathers. It was your day. Hope you had a nice weekend. It was all enjoyable despite the crazy, wacky weather. And I hope you all did pretty well when it comes to your fantasy football with the AFL women's. Enjoyed your break from the men's and got to watch some absolute carnage on the footy front, as they say. So hope you all had a wonderful one. Good evening to you, Velo. Big J will be with us shortly. Not entirely sure what's going on over there. Doing well. Happy days for Joe with another. Yes, absolutely. Kelly is retired as well. It's just amazing what happens when Dodoro goes out the door. All of a sudden, shit starts happening. So, very happy about that. So, I am very happy. G'day, Jez. How's it doing? How you doing, mate?
I'm good. Just, yeah, kind of going over the stuff. It's nice, as you say, Joe, that your team's actually making changes. My team doesn't release what changes they're making until, until the Sid Barker medal, which is effectively our kind of best and fairest. I guess they don't like to do, you've left the club, but, you can stake around for the Sid, for the best and fairest, like some other clubs do. Bit hard to delist the players and then put on your best and fairest, right?
Yeah, a little bit. G'day, Michael. Doing well. Thanks for asking, mate. G'day, Jen. Doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. Causa scored 12-20. Well done. Ranked 8 overall. Well done. Good start.
I think a lot of us got caught out by some real dud players in their teams. I listened to Joe and then ended up having some dud players in my team as well. So makes things makes things a bit rough for us people that pick we put Lutkins on field, Joe.
Yeah, I did.
Lutkins on field. You're like, go pick Lutkins. I'm like, and now she's lost.
Man, I picked Lutkins. I picked a bunch of people, bunch of scrubs. Yeah. Oh, Bonnie Too Good. Oh, what a scrub. Only scored 5 points.
Yeah, but she's a primo. Like, that's unfortunate she got injured, but she's not like at least there's opportunistic things we can do with Too Good versus a few of these other players.
Yeah, but Velo, I blame Joe for everything. Look, if that's what helps you get through life, lack of accountability and blaming me for all of your problems, if that's what helps you get through life, I will gladly shoulder that burden for you. But at least give me some royalties for the good times that come around.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I guess I was speaking to Scott Father off air about it. I'm kind of teaching him the ways of AFLW and whatnot. And yeah, it's an interesting time at the moment because the decisions we make now, similar to Supercoach, can really set you up for the future. I look at my team and I can definitely see a few things changing this week and some players being moved around. And it's not the end of the world for a lot of people. I mean, I scored this. I don't know if you've done yours this week, Joe, but maybe I'll put mine up now and we can have a bit of a chat about it.
Yeah, I haven't done mine yet.
So this week we scored 1134. It was not great. Geordie Allen with the big 25. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Godric did well, so nice pick up there. One of Joe's favourites. Lutkins definitely was not a great player. I did have Beattie. I kind of cheated. I did have Beattie on field and then Finn on the bench, so that wasn't great for me either. But yeah, just kind of the defense for the most part letting us down. Your big primos kind of did what they did, but it's the 10, 15, 20 points here and there that really kind of set you apart. It's almost lucky that, unfortunately, Too Good's been injured. Do we know how long she's out for, Joe? Is it like just today, or is it gone?
She's done an MCL. She's done an MCL. She's gone, man. Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough. So it's kind of lucky that, not for her, obviously, but in terms of actually playing the game itself, that she's been injured because it frees up a lot of money to be able to do stuff. which is what I'm going to be doing this week. So we've got, overall, the health of the team is okay. It just means, hey, we've actually got to come in and change a few players around and hopefully nab a few of these guys who are going to be premiums for the whole year, but are a cheaper price, which is the big thing for us at the moment. So I think, personally, Allen's probably going to go for me. Lutkins goes just because she's going to lose money, and I'd rather have Beattie on field if I have to, and then 2 goods out. Yeah, a few people are saying, what am I saying? A few people in the chat talking about different players and whatnot. This was the plan for me. So I think defense is probably a place of opportunity, especially with a lot of players scoring really well and a few players moving around clubs and whatnot. So Hosking was in for me this week. McAvoy was in for me this week. I would love a Charlotte Thomas. I would love a Gilroy and a few other players. Maybe a good one I'll have a think about as well. But it was nice that a few of these players didn't go monsters this week. I would hate if Charlotte Thomas came out and scored 100 because it would make her really hard to get into your team at some point. 960k scoring an 80, I think generally means that she's going to start losing money if she doesn't put up another big score. So that's one to fall down. And then Tanya Evans as well is one that I can see starting to plummet in cash. So those 2 in. Looking at a forward for myself this week, hard to go past. Originally, I wanted Richards in. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have to have a look. But Causa will love me for this. I think Vicky Wall might be my player. Loves a tackle, loves a goal. Has come back with a vengeance, and I think she's the one to try and help North Melbourne. Last year, when we didn't have her in the second season, really hurt. She went back to Ireland. So I think she's come back with a vengeance. So I'm thinking that's my team at the moment. Finn on field, so defense is a bit of a struggle still. Would have loved to probably get another one of these type of players in at the start of the season instead of trying to bring one in now, but it's happened. Got to start gearing up for round 4 as well. So hopefully some of these cash cows can start making a bit more money. Nice to see Breed definitely making a bit of cash. So even a Window and Goody, the same position, because Slicer's coming up soon. And I'd love to be able to upgrade into someone like her as well. So, yeah, not too bad there in terms of players and whatnot. That's kind of me at the moment. How's your team looking, Joe?
The team's looking all right, man. I'm looking at the team. You've got...
Yeah, it's okay.
Goody, Tripodi. You've got 4 rookies. You've got 4 rookies on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would have loved for Brennan to score a bit more. And then Mackenzie came out of nowhere and scored some big numbers as well in the middle. So there was opportunity. Sabrina Frederick over Edmonds, I think, was probably the big miss, especially with her having the round 4 bye. Sorry, the round 4 double. I'm saying bye, but the round 4 double. Yeah. So, and have I joined the Centre Bounce League yet? Let me see. Yes. Yes, I have. Big J's in the league. I'm pretty sure. I'm not the highest. Yeah, I'm ranked 20 in the league. So if anyone hasn't joined the league, join our league. I don't know if you can search it up or what it is. Can I?
You can search it up. Yeah, you can search it up.
Well, there you go.
Pretty sure.
So, yeah, that's me. Show us your team, Joe.
Sure. My team didn't do amazing either. It was not crash hot. What did I score? I scored 1153 this week.
You beat me. That's all right.
Managed to beat you. Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's the pass mark on this channel, Joe. If you can beat each other, then you're doing all right. Unfortunately,
then we're doing all right. Exactly.
Then we're doing okay.
The team it looks a bit different compared to the last thing I had because I was still playing around with it and then didn't realize what time it was. And
then you got stuck with Benici on field.
And then I got stuck with Benici, because we're celebrating a birthday at work, and so we're having a later night, and so things happened and fun was had, but unfortunately I sort of realized a bit too late what was going on, and I was flirting with the idea of what the team would look like if I had Benici on the team. And then when I tried taking her out, unfortunately, it said, "You locked. The Benici has already started playing." It's like, oh crap. Well then, I'm stuck with Benici now.
At least the benefit is that she's going to make you a little bit of money. I think she's already gone up in price. Her scoring's not terrible, especially without Davey.
Gone down in price, actually.
Oh, she went down in price. Oh, poop.
She went down 2K.
And she's got round 4 bye. So you can at least do something with that.
She does, but there's but Bree Davey, I think, is coming back in this week, which unfortunately will impact Benici's scoring even more. But she looked really damn good, especially early on in the piece. I thought, with the helmet on, she was attacking the football. She was getting so many disposals, and she was just killing the Swans single-handedly. She was going bonkers, and I was really happy to have her. But then all of a sudden, as Velo says here, all of a sudden along the she just disappeared. She just stopped, which was a little bit surprising. And it just so happened to be at the time when Sydney started to pull away. So if Collingwood's going to be up and about, Benici's going to have something to say about it. Thankfully for me, I don't have to hold her for too long. If I decide to hold her, that is. But too good. She has to go for sure.
Yeah.
The player I'm looking at in the forward line to replace her with is Huntington.
Okay.
Who's a bit cheaper, had a bit of a role change, is playing higher up the ground, more so in defence than in the forward line.
She was one of our picks last year, right? Like one of our players that kind of worked out but didn't work out.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm thinking Huntington could be the one playing higher up the ground, a bit more easier to score as opposed to another forward. Still waiting to see on Pauga what happens to her, because from the footage it looked like she copped like a knee to the ribs, I think it was. So she's made it to the injury list. So I'm a little bit concerned about Pauga if I have to trade her out or not. Is the question. I think Lutkins, sort of don't want her no more. Not a fan of Lutkins anymore after what she gave me on the weekend.
Me too.
So I'm thinking of fixing that in the back line. I could go. I could get a Thomas in if I go for a third trade, which I definitely will. But I'm thinking maybe going with a Webster, because there is, as Kai mentions here, are we worried about Swanson's impact? Exactly. So Swanson to come back into the side, I'm not entirely sure how much that affects Ella Roberts, Charlotte Thomas, Hosking. Hosking's role looked to be pretty good, but in a very important piece of the West Coast puzzle wasn't there, whereas Webster, I feel, is going to be a bit more certain in her role, which is a bit of halfback, a bit of midfield. We like both of those things. So I think I'm going to do that. And then when it comes to my final trade, I have to do I have to do another trade. So I'm thinking maybe Benici is actually going to make what I think. It's Benici might be going for me, and in her place,
you're not going to pick up one. I was going to say one Zara Goldsworthy, but I think she's too expensive.
Yeah, Zara Goldsworthy unfortunately has gone a bit more expensive. I would be able to afford it if I didn't get Webster. Like instead of getting Webster, it was for, let's see if I get Goldsworthy in the mids.
She jumped up 200k in 1 week.
Yeah, I know. And if I was to get Hosking, I'd be able to afford them. You know what I mean? Or even a McCarthy type. But I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it might be worthwhile just shoring up in defense without another speculative player. So I'm thinking it was Webster. So I do want Webster, and then rather than Goldsworthy, midfielder. that I can afford. Unfortunately, I'm just shy of affording McCarthy, who went up a metric shit ton, about 60k less. So unfortunately, I can't get McCarthy. But what I was thinking was working on my cash gen and getting someone like a Sime, who could be scoring pretty comparatively to Benici, and likely to make a lot of money.
Does give you a
Really
lot of money in
quickly.
the bank too.
Gives me a lot of money in the bank for next week. I am rocking a bit of a 2-rookie sort of setup here, but they got the Bulldogs coming up, and the Bulldogs really are no good. We saw Goody win the Rising Star Award. She's got 75. So I'm thinking maybe might be worthwhile getting the 4 gun mid rookies who are going to make a lot of money for me, and then upgrade into the guns. Hopefully, see Allen maybe bounce back, and that she had a really bad game. It's very unlike her to score a 25. I mean, I don't know when the last time it was for her that she scored a 25 in her history. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. If I go to
it wasn't great. It did feel like a little bit like Schleister kind of their roles were interchangeable a little bit. Yeah. So
I mean,
it's
she
not
does occasionally
fantastic scoring. That's the issue. Like it's not. Yeah.
So yeah, it sucks, but I'm gonna count on her to bounce back this week. I'm not gonna be overly reactive. So plus, as Cause mentioned here, North Sydney over was a weird ground for scoring. So I'm thinking maybe bank some money, improve the just bank some money whilst also improving the cash gen on the team, and try and back in the primo. I've got someone who I'm really happy with. I think Watson performed okay. Obviously, the problem with Watson is that the ball hardly went into the back line. I think the Saints played really well on the weekend.
Tamara Smith kind of started off or kept going from where she was last year.
Exactly. So I'm thinking that this might be okay. Sydney, as Kai says here, Sydney also didn't miss. So I mean, less kick-ins as well. So Jordy Allen maybe could have.
You guys are trying to convince me to keep Allen.
Oh, you don't have to listen to me, but
yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking, but I'm just.
We had DPP.
I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the back line now as it stands. If Allen does shit again, look, her double week isn't too far away. She's got the first one, so I can trade her out then. Yes, she would have lost some money, but come that week, obviously her scoring would also be pretty good because it's a double week. So Sime, I think, is pretty good. She's got a favorable matchup with the Dogs coming up. She's performed really well, make some money. I wasn't trading away someone who is a top 5. I'm trading a Benici who I was always going to trade out anyway. So I think this could be okay.
Accelerate your upgrades next week too.
Correct. If Pauga though is out, because it turns out that her injury to her ribs is actually pretty serious, and that she's going to miss. If she's going to miss, then I'm going to have to trade her out as well, unfortunately, and I might be stuck holding on to Benici that way. I'd go Huntington. I want to get rid of Lutkins. I think the only one I'd be able to afford is Hosking there. And then in the forward line, someone who I can afford could very well be Sheriff, who was playing on the ball, getting center bounces, which we sort of spoke about in the preseason, or I might even go with a Saint, who's getting some ruck contest and going higher up the ground. So yeah, it will be one of those two probably to take Pauga's spot. I think I might just end up playing with the Sheriff there. And that's probably what I'd do. Stuck with BT, relying on Allen, relying on Benici. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking.
What happened with Beatty this week? Like, did she just not perform? I didn't catch the game. Did anyone watch it?
Look, she did better as the game went on.
I mean,
Wasn't
it's
great
hard to
early
do
on
worse
in the
than like
piece.
a 3.
She wasn't getting Look, I think as the game went on, she started to move further back into defense and started to actually ask for handballs. I think it was clear that she was a bit I don't know if nervous is the word in her first game on debut, but I think that was the case because the longer the game went on, the more she started to really present as an option, ask for a handball, receive on the way past and defense. So I'm willing. I'm not. I reckon this was a down game for her. I do anticipate a better uptick. But if you had Finn instead, obviously you're a lot happier.
Yeah.
Than others. So yeah. Also got some questions
Nice.
here. So that's what I'm thinking of. All right, we missed some questions. G'day, I'm Brandon. How's it going?
What's up, mate?
So Kai literally helped create the 11th best team from Damo Ma. So annoyed. It took him 2 hours to get the 11th best side. On you, Kai. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Kai, he does great work in this space. Jen scored 1184 this week.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. You beat us.
Nice.
Bella has scored 1217. 1200. Beautiful.
That's not bad. Pretty good.
Key position forwards are easy on the never again start list. Look, Brennan left a lot of points on the field. She gave away so many free kicks, and she kicked 3 behinds. I think all 3 of them were like 20 meters out. It was ridiculous. This 51 could have and should have been a lot more, which is why I'm not overly concerned about this 51. She left so much out there. Noah, g'day Noah, 1188 this week. No Marinoff. Wow. No Marinoff. Unbelievable. Any decent pods for Too Good, or do I just get Brennan? You can get Brennan, or you can get
I think Tithe is going to be one that a lot of people got caught out without having a Stanit last year in the back line. And I have a feeling Tithe is going to be that type of player as well. I know she kind of came out and maybe a few people didn't know what she was going to score, but she did. And I think a lot of people are going to be scared away by that huge price. They're not going to do a Too Good straight to Tithe swap. And it's really going to be a super pod. I don't think they have an early, from memory, Joe, I don't think they have an early, I'm trying to find AFLW scores. Would it be on Jaden? No. Yeah, from memory, I don't think they have an early buy. So that's something as well. But I do think she's going to be one that people are going to be chasing all year. Similar to a Goldsworthy who just came out and just kicked 5 goals like no one's business. I do think it's going to be a tough one for a lot of people to chase. So, yeah.
Do you like the look of this? Too Good to Huntington, Lutkins to Hosking, and Benici to McCarthy. Or is this just point chasing?
Look, I think it's a little bit of point chasing, but pull up her stats and see if they're. Someone's got to take. Bowers'
14 tackles.
Yeah, but someone has to take Bowers' spot. That's the thing.
True.
Bowers is gone.
Bowers is out.
Someone's got to take the spot. So,
right.
It's something to consider.
What game was that? That was Essendon versus Freo. Here we are. Let's have a look. Center bounces 76%. It's not unlike previously. She's had some higher percentage CBAs as well. 2 goals. Look, I don't. This is clearly not sustainable. I clearly think that we just got beat. But I think if you were to jump on McCarthy, I think that's just classic point chasing.
Yeah,
those points. You're not going to get those points. Those points are gone.
Is there some way you can force Goldsworthy into your team, or do you just like Huntington too much?
Well, I could get Goldsworthy there.
I think that's better. Goldsworthy's a freak, man. I wanted her all year. we missed out on her at 100K. It's going to be tough not to have her.
So Goldsworthy, what? So what? I think Goldsworthy just had a ridiculous third quarter where she scored over 50 points.
Yeah, but every time she does that, Joe, that's the problem. Like, look at her scoring throughout last year. Like, she just goes bang, bang, bang.
6.5 forward. What? It's just she was in the team sheet. She was named forward bucket.
Yeah, it's how they trick people. It's like Caleb Daniel Ruck. It's like, cool, forward bucket. Yep, get rid of her. That's it. And then bang.
Look, it could be. It could be Zali Goldsworthy, Hosking, and hope that Swanson doesn't impact too much. Otherwise, who could it be that I could afford? I mean, there's no one really. There's Kemp, but sideways in Lutkins to Kemp seems to be a bit too sidewaysy for me. So I mean, it
depends how much you value like a Smythe in the team. That's kind of what it comes down to a little bit. How much do you value her compared to someone else?
Who? Sorry,
is it Smythe from Port Adelaide?
Syme.
Yeah. Like if she can keep up the level of scoring, that's effectively like bottom level primo status. I mean, I don't think Gardiner came out and scored over 100 this week.
Yeah, Syme was really good.
So you can do it. It's more just playing for now or playing for later, really, because later on something for the guys who are watching. Our team values right now are about 15.6 or 15.7, hopefully, in terms of cash gen. You're going to need to be about, let's say, about 17 million or a little bit over that to be able to finish your team. So, yeah, you've got to chase the cash gen a bit. Just depends.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was thinking.
I do like this. I do like this team though. Potentially, you've got four primos in the back line, 4 in the middle, and then like 2 in the forward line. So it's not terrible.
Yeah. Plus the forward lines, they don't really score too much.
No, all your points are from the back line, and then if you get 60s in the forward line, you're happy at the moment.
Wingers, why did we forget that 75% of teams don't play any kick mark footy? Ella Smith, 9 points in 3 quarters after quarter time.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't pick her.
It's so annoying. I picked her because of just how much the Free Kick podcast was hyping her up. So, and they even had her on field as well. So I thought, oh, geez, she must be good. Yes, we love Kate Hoare. She smashed it, 100 points. Very good. Great player. I wanted Alice O'Loughlin, but now suspended as well. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, she there's a dodgy tackle. I tell you what, it's the tackle itself. There wasn't much in it. She kind of just grabbed her around the middle, and then she fell into the floor, and then that was it. It's like, oh, cool, thanks. Thanks for the suspension, pretty much.
Yeah. Who is everyone trading too good out for? I'm looking at a cheaper forward and a better defender.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Looking at the defenders, unless people can tell me no, there's a few players there. I would love if they had break-evens. Obviously, like regular Supercoach has break-evens and things like that. Maybe Stats by Jaden has break-evens as well, potentially. But yeah,
I'm sure if it's updated.
It does feel like there's a lot of players who have some extreme value around the 700K mark that will end up becoming keepers for you for the whole season. And that means grab them now and just let your forwards mature. I mean, if we look at the forward line, they're really...
Who do you want to break even for?
They've got it there, do they?
I think so.
Well, if we look at some of these, I'm just thinking of forwards. Can we not forwards? Can we search by price? Like just look at people who are like 300K and are going to jump up in price.
Oh,
or around
sure.
the 350 mark. Not really, hey.
Oh, so this is last week because it still says 300K for
Yeah.
the price for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
it's
is
not been
updated.
updated. I think what he's going to do is he posted up on Twitter that he's kind of figured out what the price
Nice.
what the score is for the
Magic numbers
price.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's going to fluff around with that a bit. But yeah, I do just think there's a lot of players in the back line. You've got your Slicer, you've got your Webster, who are a little bit more expensive. But then you've still got players like Hosking. You've still got players like, give me 1 second, not so much Gilroy, but Godric. Goldrick looked nice. Goodwin looked nice. Even like a Darcy. You can lock in with these type of players. Lucy McAvoy as well. You can lock in with these type of players, spend 800K and fill the position, and then just say, cool, cash in everywhere else, because we've already been hit with a Watson, a Finn, and a Beattie. Even like a Geordie Allen not scoring that well. So it's the real position to actually like finish off your team as quick as you can. Something that I think we identified a little bit, but then tried to go a bit cheaper across the board, and maybe that's blown up in our face a little bit, Joe.
I think so. Meanwhile, Causa started Conti at M4, which has been awesome.
Yeah. Who was your M3 Causa? That's the question.
That's the question. Carney started well, thought she was going huge, and then only 7. I know. Is it maybe that the fact that these players started hot because it's the first game? First game teams tend to start slower. Get the run in the legs.
Well, if we look at the North Melbourne game, I think Brisbane weren't exactly competitive. The umpires basically handed them 3 goals, from my understanding. One in the forward line to Postwaite, who wasn't taken high but kind of fell on the floor. So congratulations to her. And then a couple of others, similar type positions where we gave away 50-meter penalties. So I think it was similar to, people talk about O'Sullivan and then Watson, as you mentioned before, Joe. Like, Carney got some points because she kicked the ball into the forward 50, but it was a tough day for a defender if you're a North Melbourne player, because the ball just wasn't there. Like, we beat them by 50 points. Yep. So, yeah, exactly. A bit different.
Kai has got 1.459 mil for a defender and a forward. Do I go 2 mid prices or a rookie forward and Webster? Oh, who's the rookie forward, though, is the question. Like,
yeah, that's the big thing. There's a few players who are there.
Is it Berylson potentially?
Who? My question for you: who would be the person that so you can effectively get anyone who's 500K around that mark, but who would you pick up in the forward line? Like
500K.
Yeah, like who's the mid pricer in the forward line? Then no one jumps out.
Huntington. It's Huntington at 470K. Huntington is the mid pricer for sure, I think.
So you get Huntington and you can still get Webster.
Yeah.
So just do that.
Do that, Kai. Wardlaw in the ruck, says Travis. Allow me to get Dawes at M5 and Goody on the bench.
Nice. Sabrina Frederick at sub $1 million would have been a fantastic pickup as well. I think her and Mimi Strom ended up being the highest scoring rucks for the week, I think.
Oh, they smashed it. I think everyone against Essendon is smashing it, both men and women. It's ridiculous.
Well, and unlucky when like your best midfielder goes down, it kind of just became a slaughter after that, really.
Yeah, exactly. Velo West from the Hawks worth looking at.
East-West.
Eliza West.
East-West.
East-West.
Look, I think Hawks are going to be on a bit of a rampage this year, similar to how they are in the men's. And I think we saw last year coming in as an expansion team that there's opportunities in the team. And I feel like West could definitely be another one of those as well. It's not going to be a pick that a lot of people are going to have, which in a sense is good. You can, similar to a Goldsworthy, end up just getting outpriced by a lot of these players. So yeah, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Is she going to be top of? I mean, When do the Hawks have
She's
their
$1
double?
million.
Not too early.
She's $1 million. Like it's not
Yeah.
breaking the bank. You're not paying up hugely for it, but it's not great.
Well, she was the number 1 pending centre bounce player, so that's pretty good.
Number 1.
I will. So there you go. So he has Marinoff, Riddell, Rowbottom, and Conti. Those are his 4.
Nice.
Very nice.
Bloody
very nice.
Riddell, I'll tell you what. Yeah, she's a freak.
Do you reckon a combo of Hoskin, Sheriff, or Webster Huntington is it? Webster Huntington, Kai?
Yeah.
Huntington was great. I mean, as you mentioned here, she scored off half back with the Bulldogs only scoring 9 points. I think the half-back role in the forwards line is really good. Like, if you've got someone playing half-back that's available for selection in our forward line, we take it for sure.
And
I think
she's under 500k as well, which opens up a lot of opportunities for upgrades in other positions. Maybe I don't get Vicky Wall and I get Huntington instead, Joe. Get some money for next week, potentially.
Lutkins is rookie price and just came back from pregnancy. Way too early to give her up. Watch her fire now that Joe and Big J don't have her. All right.
It's definitely something to think about as well, but we don't like talking about points chasing in Supercoach because the season is so long. But AFLW Fantasy, the season is so short that when a player scores poorly, you just have to offload them. Like that's just the way it is. Like if you've got someone who's there, who's going to score you points, who's going to make you money, Lutkins would have to score like an 80 this week to reset her cash gen almost. I mean, it's doable for a player, but do you bank on that or do you bank on getting in someone else who's still a keeper at, or potentially a keeper at a much reduced price? It's something to think about there, I guess, a little bit.
It is something that you just want to sort of look at. Zali Goldsworthy. All right, she was the 3rd.
Yeah, she's a good player. She's probably their best young player.
Brennan had her angry pills for sure, yes.
Yeah, it just sucks that we spent like 950k almost on this person, on Brennan, and she's dropped a decent amount of money. Like, yeah. It's 50 points you're not going to get back over a few other players, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think key position forwards are just not on the start list because if they have a stinker, they could drop 100k very quickly. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And that's the big thing as well, is that we found out last year that you probably want to end up having a bunch of players around the 800k mark and not a bunch of players at $1 million, just for the fact that your players are going to drop in price considerably. Like the difference between scoring let's say 100 and a 70 is only 30 points, but in terms of actual cash of a player, might end up being like 150k dropped in a week. So yeah, just something to think about there a little bit.
Ty.
Yeah, she's a good player.
120, 15 disposals, 7 marks, 7 tackles, 7 hitouts, 4 goals, 1, 92% time on ground. That's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous. What's her history been like? 62, 69, 62, 84, 56. She just decides to start, like, you know what?
Well,
I'm a different person.
As you say, it was against Essendon, right? I think at one point the floodgates just opened, Joe, and then that was it.
Relying on goals, obviously, like 3 goals, 118.
Goals are very influential.
1 goal, only like in the 60s, and then she comes up with 4, comes out to 120.
Yeah.
So obviously very goals dependent. Do we want someone who's very goals dependent for that price? Maybe, I don't know.
I think we can wait. I think she'll be okay. I think she's going to come out and go bang. We saw with Goldsworthy last year, who was in a similar position as well, who kind of took a bit of that mid but also forward goals type position.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with her over the next week or so.
Will Vesio be back in from this week after last week? Will Vesio be back in?
Yeah. And you guys lost 2 players last week too. So Pasparkas and Nashawin did well. But Clark and Too Good were out, and then not the best.
AFLW. Not sure why would Vesio not be in? I missed the reasoning behind this one. Did Vesio get injured or something?
No, I think she just maybe didn't play well.
Oh, okay.
I think Skepper got injured, according to Footy Info. But
it's true. I think it's point chasing with McCarthy. I agree.
Yeah. Upgrade your team. You can point chase, but the winners come from upgrading the team, and you don't point chase in round 2. You grab the guys who are going to make you a lot of money, or a good value picks.
Yeah, so is this a value pick at 1.25 million?
Yes, because when she comes up to when she does it a couple more times, and then she's 1.5 million, then she's going to be unobtainable to get into your team.
She's up against Richmond. How are Richmond as a matchup? Hard matchup.
Nah, says hard, not really. Yeah.
Or she capitalize on an easy matchup against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but I think that's just Goldsworthy. I mean, like I say, she's started to continue her form from last year, Joe. She went bang last year towards the end of the season, and it's just continued on for this year. They've definitely opened up a spot for her, and then when she's there, she's not in the middle; she's in the forward line kicking goals. So, yeah.
I mean, Syme makes it so good. Like, she's got over 80, and then she's got 2 solid blue matchups to come afterwards.
Then.
She can make so much money, man.
Do it.
The problem is, I don't know who. If I had someone shitty,
exactly,
in utility, then that would have been so good. But it would just be a shame to trade out Window or Breed, both of which have done really well. Like, the only one would be a Benici.
That's the question, and that's the toss up between a lot of decision makings in AFLW fantasy. Is, hey, do I go for cash gen now versus the scoring now? If I was in your position, right, I would almost be thinking, stuff Goldsworthy, get the other player in, purely for the cash. That's what I was doing. Yeah, no, I know, but like, my heart says get Goldsworthy because she's really good and she's going to score you hundreds. But in terms of the actual game, Goldsworthy might go up another 200k. The player you're going to bring in is probably going to go up 400k plus, and then you have 500k in the bank. Like, that's an upgrade to a primo. Like, cool. Next week you can go Watson into Charlotte Thomas, for example, and then finish your back line almost. You know what I mean? Like, it works out okay that way.
Cash gen galore. Cash generation.
Yeah, you have to. And it's cash gen, and then what? You've lost, like, potentially, let's say Smime goes 70s. Cool. You've lost like 20 points over Benici. Like, it's not terrible. Yeah.
Exactly. Now I'm really happy to have Syme. There you go. Could even be exactly. Could be Nadspawn.
Or Tamara Smith, or a few of these other players that we had that went bonkers.
Or Anthony, whatever her name was.
Makes me. So this week I'm going to trade out Ellie Blackburn to I can't talk.
Yeah, exactly. So
maybe this is the formula heading forward, Joe. We'll start. We realize that a few of these type of players, like your Breed and Smime and Goody and stuff, are going to end up scoring effectively the same as primo mids. So maybe next year we just come in and we stack the back line and just say, cool, we're getting all our good primos in there because the rookies are no good, similar to Supercoach, and then we load up the midfielders and then we'd be happy, right?
And because I've gone with Syme, I can get rid of Huntington and actually get, maybe it's even a BT, and then actually get a good defender in Webster. and just chuck Watkins on the bench there. And then there we go. Now we've got a really good defender in there without the concern of Swanson coming back, which is what our concern is when it comes to Hosking, whether or not she continues to maintain that role, whereas Webster we're pretty confident with. Goldsworthy played about 50% forward, says Velo, which is obviously not necessarily the best.
I think, yeah. I just think she plays where the ball is, to be honest.
Goldsworthy is not kicking 4 goals every week. Without the goals,
Yeah.
What is the score?
Probably scores. Well, it just depends. Towards the end of the
A
season,
goal is worth 6 points. So
Huh?
she loses 24 points, right?
Yeah.
A goal is worth 6, plus the kick, which was worth a 3. So that's, 9 points each goal, essentially. So 9 times 4 is what?
36.
Yes, good man.
Yeah.
Good man. I love it. So we got 36 points off of Goldsworthy's score.
Yeah, but I just think she's good for 1 or 2 a game. Like, she'll play where she needs to play to score well. Like, I don't think it's she's goal dependent. I think it was, hey, like, I'd like to see how many goals she got from not being in the forward line and being fed the ball. Like, how many she actually got from running through the middle.
Potentially. Meanwhile, Kai's also Simon got 400 to 500k in the next 2 weeks. So that might get you an extra 40 points per week in the forward line with an upgrade.
Yeah. So, and that's what I was saying. And that's the cost versus reward. And I think, this year's definitely shown us a little bit. Hey, look, this is what we need to start doing. Because she is going to jump up in price. And you can always get a primo in. But that extra boost in cash gen and scoring will help you later on. She could end up scoring more than some of my midfielders this week, which is bonkers. And then you've still got 400k in the bank. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jen Mackenzie, I was really tempted to stick with
She's better than
Brennan. She's better than Brennan, but also the thing is that there's no Sheeran, it also means that she's getting so much of the so much more of the pill in the midfield.
Yeah.
Because it's her and Conti. So Mackenzie's definitely hold on to Mackenzie. She's going to keep scoring decently well in the 80s as well, 80s, maybe 90s. Make money, and then you trade it out to someone good. Absolutely. That was the reason why I had her initially in my team, but in tinkering and then ran out of time, got stuck with Benici. But yes, Mackenzie has been very good, Jen.
Where are we up to? Legend. Oh, no, sorry. Yep. Too good. Watson and Bellew. Ooh, Watson's getting the chop, Joe.
Really? Doesn't like Serene. You don't like Serene, Velo. What happened?
She went up 14k. Oh, big score there.
Look, I think she's fine. She took kick-ins and everything.
Was it just a case? Is it like O'Sullivan? Like, my brain tells me O'Sullivan's not a good pick. But was it just because the ball was not in the right position?
The problem with O'Sullivan is that she got injured in the game.
Oh. So she's probably not... She's going to be around.
So it's a question mark over... There's a question mark over her, but she was actually performing pretty well. She didn't play 100% of the game. Is the problem for Gabby O'Sullivan. The role was good, as anticipated. You see, Serene Watson took 7 kick-ins. Unfortunately, she only played on 5 times.
Yeah.
So she deprived herself of 6 points from not playing on. You know what I mean? But still, the role was there.
It was the 43.
Yeah. So the role is there for Watson.
Yeah,
I'm happy to hold on
to her.
In
their backline.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to hold on to her. A bit like Brennan. It was just a poor week for various reasons. What else is there? Kai. I thought Daisy Darcy's role will be very good. Just worried that it won't translate into scoring. that was the concern that we had with Sheriff. She had the preseason role playing on the ball, but she just didn't look good doing that role. So that was just the reason why we ended up not going with her. Now, Daisy Darcy is a very good player. Let's have a look at her CBAs. She was named a bit more on the ball, takes some kick-ins, took one kick-in, I think. Yeah, had 31% CBAs. So it appears to have a pretty favorable role in terms of CBAs and kick-ins. 64 points is not too bad for a first time playing that role. I'm pretty confident that she'll build into it. I reckon she presents pretty good value at this point. Oh, what else have you said here about Darcy? Also spent 15% time on ground off because she had an elbow injury, then she later came back on. Well, there you go. So she's left some points out there. Only had the 53% time on ground for the game. For 64, that's really good. What else is there? Very good to ties a nice trade. That is what I've done. Good luck with that, Jen. Huntington for F2. Forward line rookie roulette. Oh no, not the rookie roulette, Kai. That's not in the forward line.
As long as it's cash gen. Like as long as you're getting good cash gen. Upgrade everywhere else and just be happy.
Tie was around the price you could have got. Yeah, but hindsight's 2020, Causa. Look at Ty versus Houghton debate and how that went. Yeah, well, Houghton, I still think Houghton might be top 5 forward, though. I'd still say the jury's still out on that. Davison for Brisbane is so unlucky with injury, and she had so many injuries at the Eagles as well. Some people just aren't, unfortunately, built to play footy. It's a very hard game, and some people are just naturally more injury prone. We see it all the time. How many great careers in men's just never took off because of injury.
Guys like Naismith, and then who was the one from Sydney? The guy from Sydney.
Paddy McCartan.
No. Not Naismith. There was one from Sydney who came in. I think he was playing Ash Johnson. No, not Johnson. Alex Johnson. That's the one from Sydney. 6 ACLs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's the one. Just kept happening. That was it really. So, yeah, one of those things.
I fear Zach Reid is that, but the soft tissue injury version.
Yeah. As much as I love Braden George as well from North Melbourne, this guy just keeps. It's always something with him, you know. Every time he gets fit, gets injured again. Gets fit, gets injured again. I worry about these kind of players.
Yeah. Okay, legend. Congratulations on Petrarca coming out and sticking fat with the club.
Trade period still ready to go. We'll see.
We should put Kate Hall into our men's forward line. She's a beast.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Talking a little bit of AFL, I'm not surprised you guys don't go after what's his face? Go after Peter Wright. Hit out for Max Gawn and then can take a contested mark in the forward line. I think you'd be able to get him cheap and he'd be playing finals. So, yeah, it's not a bad pickup as a stopgap for a few years anyway.
Yeah. Velo says the Australian Watson sucks and you took me out of Webster. Mate, I had no idea who Webster was before this week. What's a Webster? Exactly. You can trade out Watson. That's fine.
She's only gone up 60K. You can do stuff with that.
So do I go Darcy and Sheriff over Webster and Huntington? No. I still think Webster and Huntington is better, I think.
Can we pull up Webster's heat map?
There's no heat maps in this, unfortunately.
Oh, they don't have it?
Yeah, there's no heat maps for women. The sexism's off the chart. Goldrick had 52%, Tog for 74. Yep. Love Goldrick. Playing in the midfield. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's a good player.
She's awesome. I'm so glad I started her. I was really concerned that she wouldn't get up. After the game, She was also talking apparently to the medical staff as well. So
Don't
brace
start,
yourselves.
Joe. Don't start. Like, we're going to have 15 players out this week. And then
I
as
know.
long as you're named, you're staying in my team. So Lutkins with a 12 is going to be right because everyone else is going to be injured.
It's true. Pauga could be injured as well. Like, it's so many people. It's carnage, mate. Daniel Menzel was going to be a gun. He ended up making a bit of a career for himself, but yes, he definitely had more talent for sure. Thoughts on my teams after trades. Backline, Thomas Schleicher, Goldrick, Allen, Watson, BT on the bench. Very nice.
I like it. It's good. You just hope that Allen can bounce back because she's someone... It's unfortunate, right? Because I believe she did something similar last year in her scoring. Started off a bit pricey and then fell down pretty hard. And then never really came back to that kind of primo level scoring. So, yeah, it's not great.
She scored at 64 last year at the start. I'd much prefer that over 25.
Oh, of course. Yeah, everyone would. And then kind of just fell off. And I feel like that might be in the same pattern again this year. She gets put on the selfless role sometimes, and it's not good for her I was going to say super coach scoring, but not good for her scoring. So, yeah. Maybe someone to jump off. If she has another poor score this week, look to spend some cash and then upgrade her somewhere else.
Marinoff, Robottom, Conti, McKenzie, Goody, bench, Breed. Very nice. Great midfield, great backline. I had Webster all preseason, but when Sheeran went to Thomas, got more points in first four compared to Webster. Yeah, maybe. I could go... Is it Webster or Charlotte or Thomas, you reckon? 960, 925. Thomas has a double week coming up soon. If you don't get Thomas before round 4, you're not going to get her until after round 7.
Yeah.
Because ideally, every week from round 4 onwards,
you're going to start bringing those
trading in double week players. Yeah. So,
but if you could look at your team, right? How much is Watson compared to Thomas? What's the price difference? You've almost got that. You've almost got that now in cash in the bank.
Yes.
500K plus Watson. 500K plus Watson is almost Charlotte Thomas's money already. So you're set. Get her in round 3, and then we're cooking, Joe.
Fair enough. Fair enough. At least we didn't get on the round 4 double hype. Oh yeah, yeah. She was no good. That was bad. What ended up happening with her, George?
I think she just didn't happen.
All of the Georges before her. First name, and then bang. The only one who's got George in the last name.
Yep. Yeah, the doggies got smashed, as Kai's saying here. Half the doggies' side scored under 30. So it was nice to have Edmonds and Blackburn kind of do what they did. But, yeah, the doggies got murdered.
That's a rough one. Forwards. Hoare, Ty, Vesio, Pauga, Tripodi, Bench, McKee. Ty is a bit of an all or nothing selection.
I think she's going to work out.
She could work out. What's the fixture look like? So for Fremantle, forwards. Oh, that's Essendon, sorry. Oh, Essendon was a hard matchup, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it is a hard matchup until your players get injured. So,
yes.
After the Adelaide game, it's smooth sailing for this player. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, though, Ty plays Adelaide. Houghton only scored 35.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think Freo's a different beast than Port Adelaide. I think Port are great, but they've got a lot of young kids, whereas I think the Freo team have a lot of mature age. Like Freo's probably the biggest one outside of a Brisbane to give a North Melbourne a run for their money this year. We were very, very lucky to beat them in the first round of finals. I think it was like 1 point. It was not much. Their team's very good, and arguably don't have their best player. So, yeah.
All right, so Ty could be a good selection.
We'll see.
You'll see exactly.
It'll be a pod.
800%.
Yeah.
800%.
Yeah, they killed them, Joe.
Holy shit! No, stuck on trades. You just gotta fix up. You just gotta fix the shit that needs fixing, Noah.
Yeah.
Where's the problem?
Spend your monies.
Yeah. Ty will most likely be a top 5 forward. Ty gets ruck time, which helps a lot. Gets tackles. Yeah, that's true. Could I go? No, probably not.
I don't think you have enough to get Ty then from Huntington, unfortunately. You're close, but I don't think you're there.
Wait.
Try and see what happens.
Let's have a look. Okay. And then it was
where we cook, fellas.
Benici to Syme.
No. And then you got to trade someone in the back line out.
866.
Who can you get?
I
get
McAvoy.
Can't afford.
I could get Hosky.
Get McAvoy. She's a beast.
She was playing all over the ground, wasn't she?
She's a really good player.
Where was the player summary here? Lucy McAvoy. What happened? A goal, 17 disposals. Put on a wing?
Yeah.
What the heck? That's mostly forward 50, man.
Well, I think the ball was mostly in the forward 50. Yeah, she got moved. I think she got moved around. I think on the team sheet she was named wing, and then ended up getting moved around. I think during the game, I saw her take a couple of good contested marks in the forward line too.
So McAvoy played defense, forward, wing on ball.
Yep.
Same for Malloy.
Yeah.
So if she's playing all over, ruck her over.
She's good. Good player.
All right, so you reckon McAvoy?
Yeah. And you still got money in the bank, you goose.
I wouldn't touch any of the Swans girls other than Morfett and Gardner, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it depends where they are. We had Malloy, we had Gardner, we had another one, I think, in the forward line last year. They kind of have figured out a little bit who their good players are and then going from there. So, yeah, I do like McAvoy.
Oh, I can afford Daisy Darcy.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No. Who's got who don't you have that's got the round 4 bye? Who's is it Sydney?
No, round 4 is Brisbane, Collingwood, and West Coast, I'm pretty sure. Brisbane, Collingwood, West Coast, and Bulldogs.
I would still get the Sydney lady in.
Sydney is in round 6.
But I would still get her in. I think she's going to score well for you.
Of course, last year I had McAvoy. She lets crap in the last 2, and then she did good this week.
Yep.
It's always the case, Causer. When you own them, they never do well.
That's fantasy football for you.
Trade Allen instead of Lutkins and see if you can get Webster. Oh, of course. Allen's 601. Hey, of course I'd be able to afford
but
it.
you're hoping that Allen ends up being a keeper for the year.
or bounces back at least, or
Yeah.
just hold her until her double, because she's round 4 double. Darcy is much better than McAvoy, as I think she averages 75 to 85. Oh, we like the sound of this. We like the sound of this. 75 to 85. Hey, Tim.
What's up, Tim?
This is the first super chat for AFLW Fantasy. Much love, Tim. You legend. I almost feel like you might be a little bit what's this? Versio. Latkins Versio Allen. I think you're trying. Is it Latkins versus Allen? Or Vesio from the forward line? Lutkins, Vesio, Allen, Watson, Wales, Pauga. Which 2 out besides Too Good? Okay.
Because he went Versio. Yeah, okay. I think Pauga's good. I think she's got the role regardless, so even if she spends a week out of your team, I think you're okay. She's going to still make a decent amount of money. I can see her being about $650K by the end of everything.
Yeah, but the problem is she's in.
Latkins is probably the one. It's these 300K players that score like 20s, which really just kills them because she probably doesn't. We're round 2 now. I don't think she goes up in price until round 4, which is not something that you want.
We have someone here in the chat who likes Lutkins, who says cut her some slack because she's just come off of pregnancy, which is fair enough.
I'm not saying she's a terrible human being. Like in Supercoach, we're just impartial. We look at a stat and then we pick the player.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Look, Allen, I'm hoping he gives us a bounce back. She's too good to score 25. She scored 90 in the preseason in a monsoon. Like,
yeah, but
in
I think she just gets the dud roll.
So I still reckon she can bounce back. Wales. I don't think there's a big issue with Wales unless you've gone with Lucy. Not sure which one you've gone, if it's from Lucy or if you've gone Stephanie. If it's Stephanie, then you've no problem. Lucy Wales, on the other hand, you might have an issue. She's going to be up against Frederick from Collingwood, who is doing really well. Who's a beast.
Excuse me.
You could fix Wales and go to, Allen, who scored pretty well, solo rucking, 87, pretty decent run. You could do that.
How did she outscore Edmonds, man? What a joke already.
Yeah, but I honestly think as Causa says here, yeah, she was the best value ruck, and definitely one that we were all contemplating doing because it meant that we had more money to play within the midfield, for example. Probably should have done it if she performed slightly better in the preseason game.
That was it.
We probably would have done it, but unfortunately, we read too much into the preseason game, and ended up getting turned away from her. But I would say,
and in the same way as well, you look at the players who she versed this week. Don't beat yourself up too much. I mean, Sloz didn't do great, and then Levecki didn't do great either. So maybe she just wasn't versing a great ruckman. Yeah.
Look, I think Vesio can go.
Yeah.
Wing is
a good catch wing.
Correct. I'd go Vesio to Huntington. I don't like wingers, which is why I didn't select Vesio in the first place. If you do Vesio to Huntington, probably will be better. She's actually playing off half-back for the Giants. We like half-back distributors much better than wingers and forwards. So I would do that. Pauga, you definitely hold on to if she's fit. Allen, hope for a bounce back. Lutkins, is you can trade her. You can trade her if you want to. I've traded her out, as you can see. I've gotten Daisy Darcy instead, so I'm pretty happy with this. Darcy scored at 1.5 points per minute. She scored 64 and 52% TOG. Let's go. Dizzy Darcy time. Let's go. Didn't own too good last year. Then, of course, when I start her, she's on my... It always happened like this. Always.
That's I was going to say, that's super coach. That's fantasy football, mate.
That's super coach. That's fantasy. Hey, Tim, mate. You don't have to do this, brother. You don't have to do this. What about Vesio to cat player in the forward line? Cat player? Who's the cat player in the forward line?
Kenny. Is it Kenny? No. Friswell or Parry? Let us know. There's only like 6 of them.
Yeah, no. Go even cheaper. I really recommend. I think the best value forward to trade in is Huntington. She's only 470k, playing off half back. They smashed the Bulldogs, and she still scored 54 in a smashing of half back. That's pretty good. Otherwise, you've got Corey here mentioning that Friswell was good. So if you want to go Friswell, you can. But if you're looking to save a bit of money, leave some money in the bank. Oh, you got 268k in the bank already. And so if you were to trade out Vesio, who costs 534, you'd have about 802k.
So you could get the Geelong lady.
You could get the Geelong lady.
You can get Friswell in or Parry.
I guess you could back your gut.
Don't be afraid as well to hold cash. Guys, that's something for right now that I have to say. Don't be afraid to hold cash. It is really we're going to have a massive crunch at some point throughout the season, probably round 4 or 5, where we don't have enough money to upgrade our teams, and having that extra 300, 400, 500k in the bank is going to make a huge difference. It really, really, really is. You look at some of these players and like being able to upgrade someone who's 400k to a little bit more, up to a big primo is going to be a big difference maker for you. Really is. Like, I think a lot of people this year are cool. Yeah, double rounds, fantastic. But realistically, you're only taking advantage of 3 players from that. Like, similar to the buy rounds in Supercoach, right? You've only got 18 players playing. So you make the most and you have a good kind of range of players across the board. I think it's going to be a similar thing this year.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe everyone has a mad scramble round 3 and 4. Who knows?
Lutkins, Watson. You can trade out Lutkins, Noah, midfield, Conti, Rowbottom, Riddell, Blackburn, Goody. Very nice. Edmonds, Pierce. As a VC loophole, bro, why do you not have O'Dowd? Noah. Stuff the VC loophole, brother. It's all about cash in this game. You own in the midfield. Oh.
You just go Conti every week.
It's because he doesn't have
Marinoff.
the Marinoff to just be
your instant captain every week. Really, you can just go Conti every week and not worry.
Or Rowbottom every week as well.
Yeah, or Rowbottom every week. You should be okay to get like 100 plus.
So yeah, Too Good has to go. Too Good goes because she's out 6 to 8. You can get to Huntington or to Ty if you want, but Huntington opens up a lot more money for you, and then you can use that on Lutkins. to get her up to maybe a Godric, not a Godric, maybe a what was her name again? The Geelong, the Geelong defender into Webster potentially, or a Hosking. And then you want O'Dowd. You want the cash gen, bro. You want the cash gen. Smith probably needs a 35. Hopefully she gets it this week against Carlton. Too good will likely miss next. Yep. From the Essendon website. Thank you, Velo.
Yep.
Gone mad. I like it. Gone mad. I liked Birch's game as a defender for the Roos.
Yes.
Took some awesome marks. If she improves her groundwork, might be okay.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why we poached her a little bit from poached her from Melbourne, right? Got her in as a free agent, that kind of thing. I was very surprised that she actually came back from injury as quick as she did, because I think she didn't. I don't know if it was ACL or did her knee during the preseason, but like 3 days before the game, Joe, she was in a knee brace. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Well, she only played 76% time on ground, which is pretty low from what she normally does. So it seems to be that she was playing hampered by it.
Well, they just managed the players, right? I mean, North Melbourne was crushing them. It's not like we need another defender at the moment. I think Brisbane were on like 80 to 15 for a while there.
Wow.
Yep.
Can't get any better. Petrarch confirmed. Cozzy confirmed. There you go. Now just take Peter Wright off our hands, and it will be wonderful.
Yeah, you need him. You need him.
Robum goes huge every week. Don't you worry about it. What I do with Too Good? You got to trade her out, Tim. You can trade her out to Ty.
She's Ty is straight swap. Otherwise, downgrade. If you can.
Yeah, or you can go Huntington. I like Huntington a lot.
No, there are other players, but yeah,
I like Huntington playing off halfback. Halfback that's forward eligible. Come on, man, that's just too good. And they smashed the Dogs, and she still scored. You know what I mean? Like, they smashed the Dogs, and she still scored a 54.
Yep. She just looks a bit lanky when she does it, that's all.
Round 6 will be the big one for movers as 6 double game teams. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Yep, true. Birch, I think, did her PCL.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's what my team looks like. Hope you guys like it. Obviously, subject to change.
Yeah.
On the Thursday night when we get the team sheets. Look at this. Huntington averaged 57.8 in backline a couple of seasons ago. 57.8. You take that.
Of course.
For someone under 500k in the forward line, you take that.
Mm-hmm.
That's value.
There you go.
So Lutkins, Too Good, Vesio out. Yes, I think so, Tim.
Yep.
I think so. Too Good and Vesio can be Ty and Huntington, and then Lutkins can be an upgrade somewhere to someone else. Maybe even if you don't have too much money, then you could go with Hosking, who is pretty cheap, 674k in defense.
Yeah, just some questions over her kind of ability at the moment. But
question over Swanson. Swanson's return, how much that impacts her. If it doesn't, then you're laughing.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, hopefully that answers your questions, Tim. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you all so much for watching and joining us on this fine Monday night. We will, of course, be going through our finals tipping on the Thursday when the team sheets come out, because we'll have team sheets, I think, for both the finals and AFLW Fantasy. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, these Thursday night live streams, I guess kind of Thursday afternoon live streams have definitely taken us to another level. So thank you very much for you guys to watch. And it's great that, the games actually get released, or the team sheets get released around 5:30 for the ladies. So you guys can kind of get amazing content straight away. We don't have to hold out. You get a lot more time to actually play around with your teams, which I think we all enjoy quite a lot.
Yeah. Having, as Big J said before, Noah, holding on to money is not a problem because we're going to be upgrading. You have to upgrade, especially before round 4. You need to get those round 4 players in there. And you need to always have that money to be able to keep upgrading.
That 300K is going to be huge for you. So
it will
don't
huge.
be afraid to hold it. Like, I'm almost considering getting rid of Blackburn at this point and just upgrading other places in the field because I think it's Smythe. No, I'm going to call her Smythe from now on. She's going to be Blackburn's price soon, so it's pretty crazy.
Plus the cash gun that you're going to get from O'Dowd, for example, as opposed to Pierce, who's not making you any money. How many are we bringing in for Saturday night versus Brisbane? I'm thinking 6. QnA, Harry McGovern, Doherty Williams. Oh, Doherty comes in this week?
We'll see. We'll see. See what happens come team sheets.
Bont and Cripps will never play AFLW.
Mate.
All right, lads. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all on Thursday. Make sure you like, subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz. Because here's the Centre Bounce. We do the hard work so that you guys don't have to. Bye for now.
Catch you later. Have fun.